is a rocky body just like Earth. But it's only half the diameter of our home planet, which makes it the second smallest planet of our solar system. Its red color comes from vast amounts of iron oxide, also known as rust, that is spread throughout the planet and the atmosphere. Speaking of which, the atmosphere is rather thin as opposed to Earth. This results in Mars not being able to store much of the sun's warmth. Near the equator, temperatures are around 32 degrees Fahrenheit during daytime. At night, it plummets to as cold as minus 121. If you're looking to camp here, you should definitely pack warm clothes. The air on Mars is very dusty and is mainly made of carbon dioxide. So humans cannot breathe here. Also, the high pressure would make your skin boil, so better bring a spacesuit. Aside from these facts, Mars would surely be an interesting holiday destination. After all, it's got varying weather conditions and seasons just like back on Earth. The southern hemisphere of Mars is generally warmer than the northern counterpart. Between them, temperatures can vary as much as 80 degrees. In summer, the pole caps, made of ice, melt down, which allows for distinctive cirrus clouds to form. We can actually see these in the sky here. In spring, storms are common, which whip up vast quantities of Martian dust. With wind speeds of up to 400 miles an hour, a lot of the surface is cast under a dusty veil. Sometimes, even small cyclones called dust devils come up. The extensive landscapes on Mars have quite a bit to offer. Again, here are major differences between the northern and southern regions. In the cooler north, we find the low plains, which are broad, dust-covered flatlands with names like Utopia planitia or Amazonas planitia. Dark areas have been visible on the surface of Mars since early telescopes were invented. These were thought to be oceans. However, the truth is that Mars is somewhat dry, with only tiny amounts of water. The southern hemisphere has geologically older formations and more craters. For example, the highland region of Arabia Terra is densely cratered. Among the numerous impact craters in the southern region is the biggest Mars crater, called Hellas Planitia. The basin has a diameter of 1,300 miles with a low point of 5 miles below the ground level of Mars, making it the lowest point on the entire planet. Running parallel to the equator is the Valles Marineris. These Mariner Valleys are the largest known rift system of our solar system. It stretches out for over 2,500 miles and is up to 440 miles wide and runs up to 5 miles deep. It is a giant tectonic crack of unknown origin. In the western part, called Noctis Labyrinthus, it develops into a chaotic entanglement of rifts and valleys which are up to 12 miles wide and up to 3 miles deep. While on the topic of proportions, Mars holds at least 2 records. One being the giant volcano Alba Patera, which covers the widest area of all volcanoes with a diameter of 1,000 miles. With a height of around 4 miles, it's not as tall as Mount Everest. However, Mars also has the Olympus Mons. Measuring an impressive height of 16 miles, it dominates the surrounding plains and makes it the highest elevation in our whole solar system. Apart from Earth, Mars is by far the planet most thoroughly explored and researched by mankind. We know that Mars must have had a much denser atmosphere millions of years ago and is likely to have had lots of liquid water on its surface. Back then, it offered much better conditions for the creation of life. That changed when its atmosphere was thinned out by solar winds. Still, in the ice of its polar caps, there could be primitive life in the form of bacteria or microbes. After all, such life has been found in the perpetual ice of our own pole.